Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Fabrizio Romano, Axel Tunanzbebe is very close to joining Aston Villa on loan. And he also said Tunanzbebe will extend his contract at Man United before he goes out on loan. Man United are close to agreeing a one-year contract extension with Axel Tunanzbebe. Tunanzbebe has already had 2 loan spells with Villa, so this is going to be his 3rd loan spell. Newcastle have also been interested in him. It's the right decision to put him out on loan though, because he'll obviously gain more experience and he'll get a lot more opportunities because he doesn't really play much at Man United. He has played in pre-season. The best game I recall Tunanzbebe having for Man United was the PSG game. So that's the breaking news on him. Now, Paul Pogba's 60 million transfer gamble. Should Man United pay the money and keep him, or should we let him leave? Fabrizio Romano did say yesterday that Man United have a good chance of keeping Pogba. He also said that we are confident of extending Paul Pogba's contract. Pogba's current contract expires next year. Not so long ago, Pogba rejected a new contract at Man United. The other week it said that Pogba rejected a new 50 million contract offer at Man United, so reflecting on that, it said he's set to leave. And Sky Sports said the other week that Pogba is increasingly unlikely to sign a new Man United contract. Solskjaer did say though that Man United remain in talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. Sky Sports said not so long ago that Pogba sees a long-term future with Manchester United, but may wait on the contract extension. Man United must pay 15 million in wages to Pogba to sell up. Man United stars have been working hard to persuade Paul Pogba to stay. Reports from France have claimed that Man United are demanding an increased transfer fee for Pogba should he leave this summer. We want at least £63 million. PSG are willing to offer £45 million. It says PSG are the favourites to sign Pogba this summer. PSG have held talks with Pogba's representatives. Mauricio Pochettino recently played down PSG's interest in Pogba. Mauricio Pochettino got quizzed on Paul Pogba's transfer from Man United again. PSG want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. Last week, Mino Raiola offered Liverpool a chance to sign Pogba. Mino Raiola made Liverpool aware that Pogba could be signed this summer. Liverpool responded immediately and said they're not interested in getting a deal done this summer, but they may go in for him in January, depends on his contract situation. I'm very sceptical that Pogba would go to Liverpool anyway. Pogba's also been linked to Real Madrid. He's been linked with his former club Juventus. He's also been linked to Barcelona, and Inter Milan have been in for him before, so Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Like I've mentioned, if we do let him go, we need to get a good, adequate replacement for him. Pogba produced his best performances in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while. Sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and he's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined, and we paid £89 million for him, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. Mino Raiola has been working hard to get Pogba out of the club. He did a lot of talking last season. He made the announcement back in December last year regarding Pogba. He says Pogba's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he said he had no intentions of extending his contract. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. So that's more news on Pogba. Earlier on today, I gave you the news on Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid. Kieran Trippier will join Manchester United. Man United will get a deal done for Kieran Trippier. As details are emerge over the personal terms. He recently returned to training with Atletico Madrid. Fabrizio Romano did recently say that the situation with Kieran Trippier is quiet. Man United are looking to sort out Diego Dalot's future, but Trippier is pushing for the move to Man United. Atletico Madrid want €40 million, that's what Sky Sports said. Kieran Trippier expects any Man United move to materialise towards the end of the window. Trippier arranged for his family to relocate back to Manchester. Man United already have a Kieran Trippier transfer agreement. We've already had 2 bids rejected for him. It said a few weeks ago that Atletico Madrid won't sell Trippier to Man United. Just before that, Neil Custis from the Sun said that Man United were close to signing Trippier for £18 million. We went in for him back in the January transfer window, but we didn't obviously get him. We culled our interest because Trippier got banned by FIFA for 8 weeks for breaching betting rules. It'd be beneficial though if we could recommend him in, because Trippier is a right back and he provide competition for Wan-Bissaka. He's highly experienced and he's well proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial. Trippier's current contract expires next year at Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid paid £20 million to him from Tottenham back in the summer of 2019. Fabrizio Romano recently gave us an update on Raphael Varane. He did say that Raphael Varane will be in Manchester in the next 24 hours to complete his transfer, and obviously Varane will undergo his medical. Not so long ago, it said that Man United were handed a Raphael Varane setback, and it said the announcement may have to wait another week. Obviously there has been problems with getting the visa. But yeah, Varane to Man United should be official this week. Last Friday, Varane posted a farewell message to Real Madrid. And last Tuesday it got announced that Man United confirmed that they'd reached an agreement with Real Madrid to sign Varane. We've got him in a deal worth, 43 million. You know, we've paid, 34 million up front and the rest is add-ons. Varane's agreed a 4-year contract with Man United. There's also an option of a further year. Varane will receive £250,000 a week at Manchester United. Be interesting to see what shirt number he gets. Varane is our third signing of this summer transfer window. But our priority now is to get a midfielder in. And we've been linked to quite a few midfielders. I think Man United have got a very good chance of signing Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. Man United have opened talks with Saul Niguez's agent. He did say though that Saul Niguez's agents were due in England this week for talks with Man United and Liverpool. I think £34 million is going to be enough for Niguez. Reports from Spain did recently say though that Niguez favours a move to Barcelona. Not so long ago, Barcelona were in talks with Atletico Madrid over a swap deal involving Griezmann and Niguez. We've identified Niguez as a potential replacement for Pogba. Niguez has a gentleman's agreement in place with Atletico Madrid. Saul Niguez has been at Atletico Madrid 13 years or so. He's been with them since 2008, risen up their academy. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. He's made over 200 appearances in the La Liga. He has a 128 million release clause. He's got a contract with Atletico Madrid till 2026. Back in 2017 he did sign a 9-year contract. Can be deployed as a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder. I do reckon Man United are going to make at least one more signing in this summer transfer window. Man United now have to sell some players to buy. Woodward recently sent Solskjaer a transfer warning, saying that he's got to ship players out for more signings. Woodward has stood by Solskjaer. He's come out several times before and said, that he'll back Solskjaer. And when we was enjoying them bad periods under Solskjaer, Woodward did assure that Solskjaer's job was safe. We know Woodward's leaving Man United. He's had, a 16-year association with the club. Solskjaer, not so long ago, did confirm more signings are coming. So reflecting on that, Man United are not yet finished in this summer transfer window. But Man United are enjoying a very good summer transfer window because Solskjaer is getting the players he wants to recommend in. So far we've made 3 signings in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free transfer from Villa. We brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, and we also brought Raphael Varane in, and we spent almost 120 million so far in this summer transfer window. But it's just good that Solskjaer is getting the backing he deserves because he wasn't backed enough for such a long time. And obviously as well, you know, the board didn't back Moyes, they didn't back Van Gaal, they didn't back Jose Mourinho. So that just proves, you know, the board have been one of the biggest issues. The Glazers, I think the reason they're giving Solskjaer the backing he deserves is because in a way they've been persuaded to. Because obviously last season the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. And obviously a lot of United fans were protesting against the Glazers at Old Trafford towards the end of last season. Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised. And he said they could have been forced to sell the club but for only £4 billion. But the Glazers have put Man United in so much debt. You know, they've been with us 16 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. I reckon now though, Manchester United have got a very, very good squad. You know, with the signings of Varane and Sancho, I definitely think that makes us title contenders. I think before Varane and Sancho came in though, we had a decent squad. You know, you've got Varane, that's a world-class centre-half. He's one of the best centre-halves in the world. You've got Jadon Sancho, that's a very, very good player. I think he's going to exceed expectations in the Premier League. I think he'll fit in our team perfectly, but Solskjaer's obviously got to use Sancho right. That's very imperative. Tom Eaton seems a pretty decent goalkeeper. He's done very well in pre-season. You know, he's been very, very vocal. Luke Shaw, very, very good left back. Luke Shaw was one of our best players last season. In fact, he was our best player last season. And Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles. Luke Shaw's been with us over 7 years now, so he's been a long servant, and I reckon he's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Fabrizio Romano said quite a few weeks ago that Man United are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. Shaw just has under 2 years left on his current contract. I thought Shaw did very well for England as well during the tournament. Dean Henderson, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. Dean Henderson, I think, is going to miss the start of the season because he's obviously recovering from the COVID. Sky Sports said, you know, he'll miss the club's training camp in Scotland this week because of him having COVID. Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson has also got that experience behind him because he enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. And before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the club. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to Man United. David De Gea, I still think he's a very good goalkeeper, despite him making a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years. De Gea's been long serving at Man United. He's been with us 10 years. He's been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. And like I said, he's had 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us. But a few years ago, De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world because he's won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. But he said quite a few weeks ago that David De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks in order to fight for the starting place. He said De Gea is determined to fight for his future, and he said after the Euros that De Gea was set for talks with Solskjaer over his future. He said at one point that De Gea could be loaned out by Man United next season to make room in the goalkeeping department. But yeah, I think he's going to remain with us for the new season. Harry Maguire, decent centre-half. You know, he's had his good games at Man United, he's also had his bad games. He was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. I thought he did well though for England during the tournament. We overpaid for Harry Maguire though, we got him for 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at Man United, just behind Pogba. But I think we'll get the best out of Maguire now with obviously Varane alongside him. Merrick Bay, you know, he's a decent centre-half. He really is. But my element of concern about him is injury prone, so in that aspect he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bay signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Bay's future's now in doubt following the arrival of Varane, but I'd keep Bay as a backup, so if Varane or Harry Maguire get injured, then obviously there is a plan B there. We got Bay from Villarreal back in 2016 for 30 million. He's been with us now over 5 years. And Wan-Bissaka, you know, very, very good right back. He's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, he's always been superb, but Wan-Bissaka has got to show more attacking intent. We got him for what, £50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. He has enjoyed 2 full seasons at Man United. Scott McTominay, decent player. I think he'll get a lot of game time under his belt in the new season. He needs more time at the club. You know, he's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. Can he emulate that level where I want him to be at? Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United. I also think Pogbino's very, very good. You know, like I said, some United fans would like him to stay. Probably some United fans would like him to leave. Donny van de Beek, you know, is a good player, but to be honest with you, I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United. Because most of Donny van de Beek's appearances have come from the bench. I recall him only starting, 4 games in the league last season. I expect him to start a hell of a lot more games than he has done. He's only enjoyed 1 full season at Man United. You know, Van de Beek has been subjected to transfer speculation. We got Van de Beek for 40 million from Ajax last year. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. He's versatile, Van de Beek. He can play in 3 different roles. You know, you've got Bruno Fernandes, that's very good. He's our best player, or one of our best players, and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. You know, in most of Bruno Fernandes' games, he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace, but we have overplayed him. Fernandes has been with us now over a year and a half. Fernandes won Player of the Year last season. He's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Fabrizio Romano said quite a few weeks ago that Man United are looking at a new contract for Bruno Fernandes. He said towards the end of last season that was going to double his wages to £200,000 a week. Predominantly plays as number 10, does Fernandes. Mason Greenwood, I think he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad, despite him going a long period without scoring. Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. And last season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with Man United. Marcus Rashford, he's good when he wants to be, but certainly there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. Rashford has endured his bad periods at Man United, to be honest with you. He was out of form towards the end of last season, and he has become injury prone as well, which is a concern. Obviously he decided to have surgery on his shoulder. Says Rashford could be out until October for Man United. We need to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. Edison Cavani's also very good. He's made an impact since he's come in, and I'm delighted that he's staying for the new season. Fabrizio Romano said towards the end of last season that Cavani agreed a 1-year contract. We've also got some good young players. You know that Elanga looks very, very good. He's done well throughout pre-season. To Lingard's credit as well, you know, he's done well throughout pre-season as well. Facundo Palestri, you know, he looks a good asset for the first team. You know, Brandon Williams, he's another youngster that's good when he wants to be as well. So there you go. But there is some players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. You know, I don't think Martial's good enough. Juan Mata, he's been good, but obviously he's too old now. Matic isn't good enough. Lingard isn't good enough. Delort isn't good enough. Phil Jones isn't good enough. I heard Newcastle want Phil Jones, by the way. Lindelof isn't good enough. And Fred isn't good enough. Not too sure about Alex Telles because I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United because he's hardly played. But yeah, I'm expecting departures now in this summer transfer window before we do make another 1 or 2 more signings. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.